Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special, long-time coming spirits review of the Glenfiddich Age of Discovery. 19 years, folks. There are 3 different Speyside Scotch whiskeys within this box, and they will be enjoyed by your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E. You can find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch, and my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Lover of Speyside Scotch, Tony friggin' G. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, this one I've been looking forward to. Presents handsomely. Yes.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous.
Presents very handsomely.
This is gorgeous.
So we've got 3 different Scotch
In
whiskeys.
standard Glenfiddich fashion in an obnoxiously large box.
The first one I pulled out is Madeira cask finished.
Then that is where we shall start.
Now,
What can you tell us?
hang on here, because there's actually each one of these. There's your Madeira finish, your bourbon finish, and your red. Oh, so Tony, while I prepare this, why don't you get into the back here a little bit?
I shall.
Okay, all right, hang on. When it gets to the back here, don't read these 3, because all this is just flavors. But yeah, give the folks at home these top 3 here, and then the Madeira while I prepare.
This is a 40%. This is a very approachable Scotch. 19 years, my goodness. If I may. In 1886, William Grant and his family set out to fulfill a lifelong ambition. Together, and with true pioneering spirit, they built the Glenfiddich Distillery by hand. This was the realization of a dream, and the start of a new adventure to create the best dram in the valley. On Christmas Day in 1887, the first spirit flowed from the stills at the Glenfiddich Distillery. Glenfiddich remains family-owned and has become the world's most awarded single malt Scotch whiskey. William Grant's pioneering spirit lives on. Brian Kinsman, the Glenfiddich malt master, and only the 6th in our history since the distillery was built in 1886, has personally selected the single malt Scotch whiskies used to create this exclusive Glenfiddich Age of Discovery collection. Madeira cask. My goodness.
Alrighty. Give that a nose, T, before I give you my thoughts. Madeira is fortified wine made from local grape varieties. It undergoes a unique heating process known as estafugum, and it is filled with oak casks and matured in traditional Cantero warehouses designed to capture the heat of the sun, warming the cask to produce a remarkably rich, intense, complex wine. This heating gives the wine extraordinary keeping qualities and is unaffected by arduous sea voyages. This made Madeira the wine of choice during the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries when it was carried on sailing steamships all over the world. It was used to toast the American Declaration of Independence. True, actually. George Washington was a huge fan of Madeira wine. Let's see. So, yeah, it gets more into just different routes that Madeira would pass. But, okay, Tony?
That's a 10-star nose.
I was about to say, I'm getting red roses, rosé wines, candies.
I'm getting, this is just stupidly good on the nose.
Okay, now that I've let it sit for just a minute, now some of the chocolate is starting to come out.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, my first thing was
chocolate-covered fruit.
Specifically red roses was the first thing that came to mind.
There's a floral pattern here, but...
I'm a flower snob, sorry. My favorite flower is tulips.
This is beautiful. This is hands down one of the best noses I've... Not just Scotch.
Like when I just took it to my nose, I was just like... go back and watch my reaction. I just go...
Wow.
Because, yeah, this
is heavenly.
I was about to say, this is the ortolan of Scotch whiskey noses. I don't know what the palate is, but in terms of nose, this is A+.
This has set the bar very high. So, I hope it lives up.
Good God. Scotch whiskey and cookies.
Wow. Well, that's beautiful. Oh, wow.
See,
I get the grape on the
talk
finish.
To the folks. I'm going to go in for 19 seconds.
Okay, you do that. Oh, it's sweet. It's sugary. It's pleasant. You get basically the embodiment of that nose really in the middle of your flavor profile. Just kind of tidal waves a little bit all over your tongue. This is gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Silky smooth.
Now you go in because towards the end I started finding deep, dark chocolates and coffee. That's not going to hit till about second 10 though. You're still in that fruity, delicious milk chocolate front. But then towards the back, those delicious, decadent coffees, this is like Nicaraguan or Colombian coffee, like very specific and just.
Oh wow! Yep. Oh wow. Well,
this is gonna be tough.
Well.
Oh my. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was just dandy.
Okay. Buckle in, folks. This is gonna be a tough review.
Little bit. So Tony, we're gonna grade this. For those who don't know, we grade things on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. So Tony, we're gonna grade this as a Scotch whiskey. First as a single malt Scotch, then a Scotch whiskey, then a cask aged spirit. It's shelving, and then the secret 5th question. So Tony, as a single malt Scotch,
What did you say about the scale?
5 stars is as high as you can go. 0 means don't have it at all.
Oh. 5. That's a 5-star Scotch.
I'm gonna give it 4.75.
No, that's a 5-star Scotch.
Okay, you're fair. That's totally fair. I can't begrudge. That is like I said.
That's remarkable.
The nose is one of the best Scotch
The nose
noses
is
I've ever had.
amazing, and I'm like, how can the palate possibly live up to that? But oh god,
It did. It did. The red fruits
You
and the
can
roses
roll
don't
this-
come through, but
you can roll this across your tongue for any set given amount of time, and it just changes and it evolves on your palate the longer you hold it on your tongue.
okay.
It's beautiful.
It has aromas of ripe figs, so that's probably where I was getting that. Caramelized fruits and spicy notes of cinnamon and black pepper. So, and I'm getting a lot more than just that. But the coffee
The
is...
fruit, for me, I'm just getting the grape from the Madeira influence, and I love it. Oh my god, yeah. No, this is stupid good. 5.
Okay. And now, all right. As a Scotch.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. As a Scotch, I'm gonna give this 4.5.
Thought that's what we were doing.
We did single malt.
Oh, it was a single malt.
Yep. So now we're doing Scotch tea as a Scotch. It's a
Oh,
whole wide world of sports here.
As a Scotch, I'll go 4.75. Yes.
He likes it, folks. My
No,
God.
yeah, this is beautiful.
Okay, as a cask-aged spirit, let me go ahead.
Go ahead.
In honor of King Kong Bundy, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, bam! 5 stars as a cask-aged spirit. This is art in cask aging.
Yeah, I gotta go 5 on this because of the way that this just evolves on your palate.
So I think we've discovered Tony likes this stuff.
This is gorgeous.
So, all right, shelving. Is there a question that this goes anywhere other than the top?
I'm torn between middle and bottom.
I'm torn between top and my whiskey vault.
Yeah, vault.
Yeah, like my brother said he wants to try a little of this, so next time he comes over, we're probably gonna knock this bottle out. So, now the secret 5th question, Tony. When this run's empty, will you seek one?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can, but
specifically, this is the one that I want.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't know about the other ones yet, but yeah, this one is A+ top shelf stuff. Yeah, yes.
I love Glenfiddich, and this is
is better than Glenfiddich 21.
Yeah, this feels like it's heavier than 40% too. The complexities here.
Well, it doesn't alcohol-wise, just flavor-wise.
Yeah.
So, Brian Kinsman.
Wow.
T.
Indeed. It's the age of discovery as we know it.
And I feel fine. Yes, folks, the 19-year offerings from Glenfiddich. So, without further ado, let's move right on to... Oh, let's see what we got here. I love this box. It presents so handsomely. All right.
What are we getting this time?
Let's go with you.
What do we get?
Red wine cask.
You've got a lofty bar to meet.
Ooh, wines of South America. Okay. So that tells me this is probably Malbec or like Cabernet Sauvignon or something like that. But yeah, Malbec grows really good in South America, even better than it does in Europe. So, oh boy. So T, get into the red wine cat. Open one more.
Next.
I was about to say.
This is a ridiculously cool box.
I know, ain't it though?
Wow. This is 40% ABV, I assume. They probably all are.
Yep. All right, hang on. Let's see.
Oh.
Well, yeah, wait.
Poop. Red wine cask finish, 19-year Glenfiddich Single Malt Scotch whiskey. Nothing can be more improving to a young naturalist than a journey in a distant country.
Exploring naturalist.
Ha. In 1831, HMS Beagle sailed from Plymouth in England. Charles Darwin, a young gentleman naturalist, was on board the ship, having been recruited by Robert Fitzroy, ship's captain, to record the natural history and geology that they were to encounter on their travels. Beagle's voyage lasted nearly 5 years, sailing down the east coast of South America, through the Straits of Magellan, up the west coast, and then onward to the Galapagos, Tahiti, New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa. Having circled the globe, they returned to England, landing in Falmouth in 1836. Darwin spent much of the trip traveling on land, making long expeditions to the interior of South America, collecting specimens of plants, animals, and fossils, as well as recordings of the geology of the places he visited. In Argentina, he visited what we know to become the key wine-growing regions of
Mendoza
and Rio Negro.
I wasn't even reading it. I just...
This 19-year-old Glenfiddich Single Malt Scotch whiskey has been finished in oak casks previously used to mature fine red wine. A selection of these casks came from the great wine-growing regions of South America, where they have been used to mellow the famously fine and full-bodied red wines. Darwin had a lifelong interest in vines, publishing a paper on the movements and habits of climbing plants and growing grapevines at Down House, his home in Kent. So, with all that being said,
very red wine.
Yeah, heavy red wine.
I'm loving it.
I'm not a big.
I knew you wouldn't be.
I'm not a big red wine fan, but this is actually very inviting.
Like, I might edit out, but like I was getting so deep that a little bit almost went up my nose for a second, like because I'm just like, oh god, this is a heavenly nose to me, and I'm trying to guess the wine, and the minute they said Mendoza, I'm like, okay, there is Malbec in here. Like, there's just no way because the best Malbecs in the world are made in Mendoza. Even the French wine growers had to concede that Mendoza just makes... Now, Malbec, if you buy any Bordeaux blend, will have at least like 5% Malbec in it, which is how I got to know it. And so, God, this is just rich red wines, and like, I feel like I should be talking to wine snobs.
Yeah, I was
you know what I mean?
say.
Now, let's see how it...
barely smells like a whiskey to me.
Yeah, like, all I'm getting is red wine. It's kind of like the Dalmore Dominion, how it's just a sherry bomb. This is like a Malbec bomb.
Oh, it's a really pleasant nose. No complaints whatsoever on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Little tart like red wine. You get that dryness for sure. But it's still just sweet enough. Oh, the finish is very smooth. Very, very smooth. Wow. This is very nice. This is very nice.
Fruity. Delicious. Leave it on your palate for 19 seconds. Towards about second 15 is when some spice will start to show up. And it'll start to get a bit more up your alley there. But yeah, you're right. The red wine, the dryness, just the grapes, the fruit, the red orchard fruits. Like, I'm trying to think. It's not an apple. It's not a plum, but it's some red fruit that you can just sink your teeth right into. See what I mean?
No, it's really nice. And doing that, you get a little bit of a chocolatey finish.
Yeah, there's some chocolate there.
Wow.
It's almost Valentine's Day in a bottle.
This is really nice. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do. This is really good stuff.
So, here's the hard part, folks. We're going to grade this on a couple of 5-star scales. We're going to grade this as a single malt scotch, as a scotch, as a cask-aged spirit, its shelving, and then the secret 5th question. So, Tony, as a single malt scotch,
I will go
on a 5-star scale.
I will go 4.
4 stars out of 5. I am going to disagree with you, but only just. I think you're being a little conservative here.
Okay.
And as a single malt, I'm going to give it 4.5. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So, what can I say?
That's fair.
I enjoy
it. Nope.
It hits all the notes for me.
It's
you know,
nice.
I'm a lover of wine. I'm a lover of single malt scotch, and Speyside is my second favorite Scotch whiskey region.
Yeah,
so
this is very, very, very nice.
Yeah. Now, as a scotch, a bit wider world of sports here.
As a scotch, I'm going to give it an easy 4.25. This is a beautiful, delicate, inviting, and it doesn't give you a roller coaster ride of flavors, but you buckle in and you just kind of ride it out, and it's so very, very sweet and subtle, and doesn't offend anybody. Like, this wouldn't offend anybody. This is a great, great scotch. Just I wouldn't introduce somebody to scotch with this, but somebody who's not used to the higher proof stuff, that doesn't want to be burnt out, this would be marvelous.
God, that's becoming a lot more chocolatey coffee.
Yeah,
the deeper I get into it.
It's very nice on the finish.
As a scotch, I'm going to stick with 4.5. Okay. Like you said, I wouldn't introduce to people to it, which is why it's actually getting docked a few points.
Ooh.
Now, as a cask-aged spirit,
I'm going to give it 4.25.
Okay. Why is that?
I think it's a little more niche, which probably kept me from going higher, but it's a 19-year-old Glenfiddich, and it's really damn good. It's really smooth.
So you gave it 4.25?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you, but only just a little bit. I'm not going to give it 1 star. I'm not going to give it 2 star.
Are you going to give it 3?
No, not as a Cascade Spirit. No, not 3.
What about 4?
No.
No.
So, not going to give it 4.25. 4.5 is a little, not quite. 4.75? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam! 5 stars as a cask-aged piece of masterpiece. Yes, in that regard, as cask aging in red wine, single malt Scotch whiskey, Brian Kinsman, God bless you and the amazing, amazing things that you bring to us every day. Yes, 5 stars as a cask age. What can I say?
Beautiful.
So, now, Tony, I put it on top of this box because is there any... Do we need to discuss what shelf it would go on?
No.
It's a top shelf. Now, when this bottle runs empty, would you seek one?
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is really nice. This isn't one that I would have initially sought out, but yeah, this is gorgeous. This is a great, great bottle of Scotch.
If you love wine and you love Scotch, this is pretty much for you.
I don't love wine, and this is a great Scotch.
Yeah. That's if you don't like wine, this would still be a great one.
Really great. Really great.
Lordy. So yeah, I'll definitely be seeking out this one in the future if I can ever find it.
And it is
good luck. The final. Yes, T. Open it up.
Wait. There it is. Okay, there it is.
So, there we go.
The beauty. I do love the magnetized box.
It just
they don't make it easy.
It just doesn't seem to like me all that much. So, folks, we have reviewed
the Madeira.
We have reviewed the Madeira. We've reviewed the red wine, and now we're at bourbon cast. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E. You can find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube and Twitch, and I am joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the Tony G.
I'm looking forward to this one, folks.
Bourbon Cask Reserve. This is 19-year-old Glenfiddich Scotch whiskey, 40% ABV. Huh.
Disappointing cork pops, but what are you gonna do?
I mean, it's a smaller bottle. Maybe that has something to do with it. Hasn't been disappointing on the palate.
No.
The Mississippi, the father of all rivers. Great rivers run through the history of the American South. The Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, and Ohio rivers flow into the greatest of all rivers, the Mississippi, and continue to south before finally spreading far out into the Caribbean at the great entrepot of New Orleans. These rivers were the roads along which the people traveled, cultivating the land, bringing commerce and industry, and around which the cities of the South arose. As the cities grew, so did America. Whiskey distilleries producing Tennessee sour mash, bourbon, and rye whiskeys, which were carried down the Mississippi River on the great paddle steamers of that era to the bustling port of New Orleans. For many years, oak casks used for maturing American whiskey were shipped down the Mississippi River across the sea to Scotland, where they were used to mature Glenfiddich Single Malt Scotch whiskey.
Tony, take up your glass here. Give it a little nose. You're gonna want to give a nose full of this.
Wow.
Okay. The nose, I'm only going to describe in one word that I've now made up, but everyone will know exactly what I mean. The nose is Glenfiddich. Not wrong, am I?
No, not entirely.
It's Blanton's Glenfiddich.
I was going to go with Scrumdiddlyumptious.
I like it. So it's obviously got a lot of bourbon notes, but on a all barley mash bill.
This is. I shouldn't be surprised, but very, very bourbon forward.
Very caramel, vanilla.
Yeah.
Not a lot of oak, considering 19 years.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, no, not much.
Not as much as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Especially not from a bourbon cask.
Boy, this is going to be great. Here's the yolk.
Mm-hmm.
And?
Ooh.
Oh. Beautiful vanilla finish, actually. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's A+.
Oh. Actually. So, this was, these were Old Forester barrels, apparently. Wow. Yeah, like a toasted, marshmallowy. Yeah. Wow. Really, really good finish. Wow.
If you leave it on for full 19 seconds, it just becomes bourbon.
Yeah.
With each more second, except for that barley mash bill. It's barley bourbon, for lack of better terms. Goodness gracious. God, Tony. Yeah. It's ascendant whiskey. I don't know what to make of this.
That's beautiful. This is a 3 for 3.
Every single one of these have been amazing. So, Tony, we now find ourselves at the point where we have to grade this on a 5-star scale. I know, it's unfortunate.
Wow.
We're going to grade this as a single malt Scotch.
All right.
As a Scotch, cask-aged spirit, and then shelving, and then for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. Right. So, as a single malt Scotch whiskey.
4.75.
Tony Likey?
Yeah, I like you.
Tony Likey.
That's fantastic.
I'm going to disagree, but only just, and I'm going to give it 4.5.
Okay.
Only because of its heavy bourbon influence. Some single malt snobs might be skewed, but I don't imagine, like, most single malt is aged in bourbon.
That's what I mean.
Ex-bourbon casks.
That's why I didn't initially think about detracting the rating because of it.
But I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
4.5, still damn good whiskey. So now we move on to Scotch whiskey.
As a Scotch, you're right, it is very heavy bourbon influence, which no complaints here, but a purist might have complaints, so 4.25.
I'm going to disagree with you, but only just. I'm going to stick with 4.5. I think this is just ascendant stuff. This is some of the heaviest hitters in Scotch whiskey that you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to get your hands on. So,
yeah.
Now,
that finish is gorgeous.
As a cask-aged spirit, T.
Like I'm just thinking of Old Forester on the finish. It's beautiful. Like the 1910 specifically for some reason. Oh.
Yeah. That toasty beautifulness.
As a cask-aged spirit, I'm going to go 4.8.
4.8.
Yep.
Now, Tony, as a cask-aged spirit, I'm going to disagree with you, but only just.
Only just.
I'm not going to give it 4.25.
No.
I'm not going to give it 4.5.
No.
4.75 ain't quite there. 4.8
is what I said, yes.
I'm afraid that's just being a little too conservative here. But I'm not going to give it 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but BAM! 5 stars as a cask!
Wow.
Aged spirit, folks.
It's that good.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
This is stupid.
Yeah, it swings way above its weight class.
So here we are. We're through all 3 of these, and this...
We have... Now, hang on.
Wow.
Hang on. Before we get there, we've got a couple more questions to answer.
Yes. Sorry.
First, we have shelving.
This is a top shelf.
Obviously. Yes,
Glad we got through that.
Now, when this bottle runs empty, this is the secret 5th question.
Hell yeah.
Will I seek another one? Yeah, if I can find one anywhere here stateside, you bet your ass I am.
Wow.
So, now, Tony, we have arrived here. We have done all 3 of these beautiful, marvelous Age of Discovery bottles. All 3 of them. Just marvelous, marvelous stuff. Now we get to the unfortunate part where we have to rank them.
Okay.
We'll start at the bottom.
Okay.
Which
Red
one?
wine.
Okay.
I like it. Actually, I loved it. But it's the bottom.
God, here's the problem is the grading is so slim.
Yeah.
Because I love all 3 of them. I'm going to agree with you.
Yep.
And it's not bad. It's just the other 2 are so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So number 2, it's bourbon, right?
Yeah, it's bourbon.
So that would leave number 1
It's
to be
the Madeira,
this
easily.
beautiful
Insanely
19-year-old Madeira cask edition. Is, I'm going to go ahead and say, probably the best Glenfiddich I've ever had.
I love the Glenfiddich.
Probably the best Speyside I've ever had.
Glenfiddich 15 and 18
Top 10 Scotch even.
Amazing. 21 is one of my absolute favorites. It's so damn good, but this is just next level. Like, this hits above its class in terms of ABV and proof. it's so complex, you don't even know it's as light on the ABV content as it is.
Yeah, now this cost me $120 USD for
That's
this whole.
worth it.
I was about to
That
say,
is worth it.
just to get your hands on this Madeira cask.
Yeah.
Because then even the other two are still amazing stuff.
What are these? 200, 300?
200 milliliters.
200 milliliters. So you're getting 600 milliliters of whiskey for $120. Honestly,
It's like an extremely expensive bottle of scotch, but you're getting 3 different kinds and one of the best in all the world.
Each bottle costs about $40 a pop, which it's a little
steep.
It's a little steep for 200 milliliters, but I cannot tell you how good these are.
You get to discover with all of us.
Honestly, like at some point, I'm probably just gonna have to seek out an entire box myself. Like I would gladly pick up an individual bottle of any of these if I saw it. If they make it. But do I have to go to the Glenfiddich distillery to get just a bottle of this? Probably. But if I can get just a box of all 3,
but why?
Oh darn! What a shame that would be.
Glenfiddich, if you're watching, I mean, I know they are. I mean,
They
we're basically their daily like work prep. Like so, has K.O.E Nation put up a video about us today? If not, we're fucking up. Like we're Glenfiddich. We should be front and center of the K.O.E Nation. So,
Wow,
Tony.
Wow.
We have came, we saw, and we discovered in the Age of Discovery.
I knew they'd be good. I just did not think they'd be this good.
So, T,
I'm blown away. They're all really friggin' amazing.
I'll T, without further ado,
Yeah.
as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this discovery, this Age of Discovery, where we came and we did the round robin. We did all 3 of these amazing Scotch whiskeys and we discovered. And folks, if you can find this, consider yourself lucky. You are one of the lucky, the few. So, yeah, Tony, thank you for joining me on this Scotch
Thanks for
journey.
having me.
Yeah, no problem. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E. You can find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube and Twitch. You can find this guy at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I hope to find every last one of you back here at the K.O.E Nation. Happy, healthy, much the wiser. Raise a glass to yourselves. T, this is fucking awesome. Catch you later, folks.
Here and see if it just smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah.